Well, hey Internet, this is Steve. So today is a rinse and repeat kind of day. So it's a repeat because we're in the middle of a cold snap and the rain, I don't know if you can hear it through the microphone, is pouring down outside. And it's been an ice storm. Most of the schools are closed and whatnot. So inside of the Connex, I've got a little fire running in there. It's probably 50 in here or so. Where it's insulated, it's actually a little warmer. So if I step here, it's better than if I stand here. So the insulation does make a big difference. And I've covered that before. Even by the end of the evening, the walls will even have a little, I like they're sweaty. But here, if I reach underneath here, they're dry. So the insulation makes a big deal. So what am I working on today? All right, it's also a work day that's rinse and repeat. And the fact that I've got the boards that I've been trimming to make the top part of the cabinet, and the cabinets have taken me a little while. Some of that is because these are structural. I can't afford to make mistakes. They will be carrying the roof load down the middle of the trailer, Connex I should say, shipping container, and that will have a poured concrete. In addition, the stairs will come up above it, so it'll actually have another floor. So alright, so what I've got going on here then, and it is a little dark in here because of it. I punched these out yesterday, and you can see that everything's notched. All the boards are notched into each other, and they'll all tie together, interlocked, and they'll tie the cabinets together in a nice solid square. So what I need to do is just punch this out exactly like I did before, only with the custom pieces for this side. Again, because everything is on a rough cut lumber, we all have different dimensional sizes. When you look at that board, it's a different dimensional size than that. That board's a different dimensional size than that. So all of these need to be fine-tuned. Additionally, the back of the cabinet, the shipping container, is really dark. So I brought in a little handheld lantern so I can see the saw blade, keep my nibbly bits all fine and dandy. So, and I'll try to focus on doing some stuff that you haven't seen today. Maybe I'll do some close-ups or at least discuss something new. I'm going to try to knock this out in just a little bit. It is cold and I want to get back in where it's warm and out of here. But I want to get this around. Tomorrow, it might be warm enough for me to drill the screws and bolt this all together. So that's what I'm shooting for. So I was one board short of the thick boards there that make up all these match. So I found a board that had a split down it. And if you've been watching along, I went ahead and patched it. Let's go ahead and remove that patch. It's wood glue and sawdust packed in there. What I don't want to do is when I cut the notch out there that this board just finishes splitting in half. And so I don't think it will, but we'll find out together. It's been curing for about 48 hours at 32 degrees. I don't know if you can get a good look in there. You'll see that the glue is hardened, and I think that's going to hold everything together. I'm not able to get in there. So let's go ahead and mark this one out, since I'll have to do some additional fiddly work on it because it's a weird board. And we'll mark it out, and I'll go ahead and do that one first. And again, all these are custom cut, so it'll be a little bit while I mark that out. Alright, so just a little dot. Normally I'd scribe those, but with the low light I can't really see the scribe, so I know I'm going to be marking them with a really fat felt tip. So when I cut them, I accommodate that, and I cut on the other side of the black felt tip so that they don't end up overcutting them. Alright, and this one is, I just need to know how deep to make it. And you'll notice I haven't yet pulled a tape measure. Not opposed to them, but I've learned with my shake that well, I'm not very good with them. Alright, so there's all my notches that I should make. And then, you know, here to there, and I'll set the blade to that height. And then I'll make that cut, and sometimes I cut it over and sometimes I kerf it and chisel it out. It all depends on what I want to do. Usually I cut it twice. Alright, I apologize for the low light video, but it is what it is, right? So I am off grid, and so I've made some marks, and so the first thing I want to do is find out and set the depth of my saw, and I can see right now that it's going to be just a smidgen deep, so I'll go down just a little bit. Let me put a light over here, maybe it'll help a little bit. So the lines that I made, so let's see, yep. So I know that will be a fine cut. Notice I still haven't pulled a tape measure. So then I'll set it up so that I can cut along that line. Then I'll cut along that line and I'll call that a day. So let me put you on pause. All right, so I made my first cut just inside that line. And I'll come back in. Now I'm going to adjust my table saw guard right there, and I'm going to make sure that that hits just the other side of that. So let me pull the light up here. All right, so and boopity boopity. All right, I like that right there. So, and I already checked that this height and that height, it's the same height. So let me go ahead and run the table saw on that. And I'm going to put you on pause. It's just too dark for me to record while I'm cutting. So I'm going to put you on pause. You'll see what I've done after I do the cut. I don't want to lose a finger here. Alright, I notched the first one out. I like to leave a little bit there when I'm working so that I don't get a piece lodged in the blade and have it kick back on me. So I usually leave a little tab. It's dark. I'm out here all alone. I'm extra safe. But then I take my Japanese coping saw and I'll just cut down along the line and shore that up. But it looked like I nailed it. And notice I didn't pull a tape measure even once. There's ways to get things done that don't include having to measure 50 times. We'll see how close I am when I break this out. Right. I think that looks pretty good. In the dark, in the cold, no power. No, I guess, grid power. All off grid. Now rinse and repeat on the other side there. Open it up. I'm going to be real pleased with this. Being cedar, it ought to keep everything away. And that odd size board, other than fitting here down correctly, you know, you don't even notice that it had a little weirdness, and the split just adds a little character. So I'm all good with that. Let me get my marker and rinse and repeat. Losing my mind. Boopity, boopity. All right.
check me. X out the one I don't need. That one. Need that one. All right, let's go do that. All right, let's see how satisfying that is, Internet. One done. There we go. All right, let's see how satisfying this is. All right. Oh, I might need to do another, just a little cut, Internet. Not satisfying. Womp womp. Let's see how far I am away from that. Oh, the smallest of trims. The smallest of trims. Yep. Okay, I'm back with the world's smallest of trims. Thinnest wafer. Micro. Remember the old Daffy Duck where everybody was starving to death from the 30s and they all cut a bean and a loaf of bread and what was that, Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Cut a bean so thin you could see through it. Let's see if... Cut that wafer so thin you could see through it. Oh my gosh! Looky there, Internet. Looky there. That's a thin wafer. Alright, where's my chisel? Because I had to redo the saw. Not quite the same as the first cut. I almost nailed it though. Alright, let's see, Internet. Drum roll. Let's see if this is the world's most satisfying fit now. Ah, maybe. Maybe. Wow, that is satisfying. That is satisfying. Almost satisfying. Perfect. Now let's see if I messed this one up. Nope, I did not. All right, last cut, Internet. Last cut. Same process. Mis-chiseling a little bit here. Alright. Which side is which side? That looks like that side. That looks like that side. Oh yeah! Ah, that is feels good. And I ran out of propane at the same time. So looky there, man. That just fit right into there.
just like it was supposed to. Almost like somebody cut it that way. All right. Any place when I inspect it, once it's a little warmer and I can see a little better. This one sticks up a little bit. I'm just gonna cut a part off the bottom, 1/16 of an inch, and drop that down. But everything else is tight fitting, and I am very happy. Very, very happy. All right, it's already getting cold in here. I've only been out of propane for a few minutes, and you can see dark and cold, dark and cold. All right, everybody, this is Steve at 1000 Year Home. It's definitely, I could see my breath, so it's down into the 30s again inside here. And let me go ahead, pack everything up, take this camera, mix some videos. So this weekend's supposed to be a little nicer, so I'm looking forward to that. Hoping to glue that tomorrow if the weather holds. All right, like, subscribe, follow me along. It's the way I feed my horse. You got to let me feed my horse. Bye, everybody.